Good afternoon. Welcome to FST. I am Gabriel Miracle. We've come your way again today with this interesting topic. As we may know that most drugs and other chemical substances are helpful when used properly. But unfortunately, the misuse of medication and drugs, both legal and illegal, as well as tobacco and alcohol, it's now a growing problem in our society today. So we are in the streets getting the opinions and the reactions of people on this. Join me as we do this.
The effect of drug abuse is so destructive to the society. You see so many youths that are into drugs. Some of them don't know themselves. With the influence of the drug, some of them are forced into cultism. And with that, they do all manner of evil to the society. As a result, all those who take drugs now, they are a menace to the society because of the influence of the drug. Most youths, if they don't take drugs, they cannot even do any meaningful thing. So it has so eaten deep into the society, where so many of our youths does not have sense of direction any longer because of the influence of the drug. They are not focused. They don't have direction of their own. In fact, for every little thing they do, they will resort back to the drug. I say, more or less, they are living by drug every now and then. It makes them to rob. It makes them to rape people. It makes them to carry out dangerous acts against humanity. And so one thing that the government will do to curb this thing is just like they are stopping people, searching people on the way. But I feel that is not enough. Why didn't they go into these shops, pharmacies that brings in these drugs? Agreed, some of these drugs are medicinal. They have their medicinal value. But the excessive use of it is what is causing the drug abuse, just like the name implies. We all know, for instance, this codeine. Codeine is something that is used to cure or alleviate cough. But people now use it excessively. And then the aftermath of it is when they use it, it intoxicates them or drives them to carry out what they are not supposed to do as against humanity. I think that is the little I know about drug abuse.
In my own opinion, one of the causes of drug abuse is that some of the patients doesn't seek for doctor advice. They just went to chemists and purchase drug without doctor prescribing drugs for them. Sometimes they may make mistakes because it's not their profession. I will advise many patients, if you are looking for a solution to your sickness, try to consult the doctor to prescribe drugs for you. He's the one that can take care of you properly. Government should make a public announcement to the people who are ignorant of knowing how to prescribe drugs, that they should not be buying drugs on their own without the consent of doctors. They should spread the news to everybody to know. First of all, some of them need to be enlightened. And secondly, they should not be doing something on their own without the consent of the practitioners, medical practitioners. Because the more they are taking drugs on their own, they are increasing death rates in our society.
The effect of drug abuse is negative, counting from all those drugs that government is trying to prohibit. The one that is quite popular now is the tramadol. The abuse of tramadol in many youths. And of course, the reason or the negative effect is not far-fetched. You can see it. Social vices, the crisis is particularly in youths, in armed robbery, in rape, and leading people to madness. Yes, when they want to forget their natural consciousness, is when they take this one and they call it being high, and they are high. The feelings of human being will no longer be there while they are doing these things. These are some of the negative effects of the drug abuse. Talking about how to control them, I think the government has to come in. The government has to come in the area of prohibition, enacting laws that if some persons are found selling certain drugs that government had stopped, I think the person should face the wrath of the law. But beside that, if the society actually want to curb that, everybody had to be involved. How? When a child is born and is growing up, it's good to inculcate in the child a lot of the do's and a lot of the don'ts. Let children, by parents, be led to gatherings that can teach the norms. Make the child hate what is bad. Make the child accept what the society embraces. Like the church, a parent should be able to lead his own when he is young. And you know that when the Bible said, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Waiting until another person takes over the mind of the child before we'll be struggling to disengage the person is difficult. But if the child is inculcated, habits that the society appreciates, and those ones drop the ones the society hates, it becomes part of the child as he's growing up. And nobody can just seduce him into all these things. The peer group, the parents should be able to also know who a friend of his own son or daughter is. Do you understand? So that you will be able to look into the activities when they leave you or behind you. What do they do? I think these ways, if they are put in place, we will have more children that are not and that would not, put themselves into this act than the ones that will put. And then curbing it will start from such point. Disengage them, make them hate it, give the awareness, tell them the consequences. A lot of people on the street going half naked started like that, and so on and so forth. There is need to also create awareness in institutions like this. The government putting seminars that a larger number of students will be gathered to sensitize them the danger of these things and so on and so forth. I think by such it will help.
Drug abuse affects the society negatively, and the cause is because of mostly frustration, and secondly the politicians. They are the ones introducing children to drugs to enable them use them win elections and all those things, which is very bad. And the only way to come out of it is to sensitize the society on it. Sensitize them and then empower the youth. We produce children that don't have work. Any little person that gives them work and tell them to do. He that pays the piper determines the tune. The text, what you are going to pipe out, what you are going to say. That's all.
Okay, to me, I think one of the causes is emotional trauma. Like, they take it at times to get rid of some of their, let me say, anger or something. If taking drugs, you should control yourself. Don't take it to abuse it. But some people today abuse it, and the effect, it makes them get addicted to it.
Most parents don't care how their children behave, and the way children also, the association with their fellow citizens, so they can easily be influenced based on their youthful exuberance. They have to control it. Parents should be able to monitor, one, whom their children move with, the kind of friends they make. Even in school, they should be able to choose friends they deal with. Not because you've seen somebody, you don't know the person's character, then you take him as a friend. Sometimes it may give you what you don't want.
There are so many factors. I think one of these factors is bad association, otherwise peer group influence. Another thing too is the influence of the so-called role models. In a situation where you hear of a musician who is on drug, or a TV star who is on drug, and so on, and also the influence of the TV programs themselves. Even though the TV programs are structured or arranged in such a way that people will learn that these things are bad, but before you tell people it is bad, you've already showed them how to practice it. So the young ones are seeing these things and they are learning, and they are doing them. The society on its own does not even encourage you to do what is right. That is the truth. So many people, both politicians and those who are seen as examples in the society are into it in one way or the other. And people know about these things. You understand? And many youths too, from the family backgrounds, there is a failure from the parents on their own. So many youths are left to grow and find their own way instead of being given parental direction. Like you know now, anything abuse is wrong. People are abusing drugs, and therefore our society is being abused. The young people, many of them have chosen to have no future. What I mean is, when a child is into drugs, what are you looking out for? Rehabilitation, possibly not so. What if the rehabilitation process fails? What if there is none? The child ends up either being mentally deranged or, as you can see, somebody whose senses are not together cannot achieve much. When somebody takes drug, means the person is engaging or taking in psychoactive substances outside medical prescription. You understand what I'm saying? So that thing that is psychoactive has the ability of altering someone's senses. When someone's senses alter, what happens? There are a lot of mad people. So there are many mad people in society today, but moving on as if normal. So that is the effect. Productivity is low. Morals on their own are also low. Rape is on the increase, and so many other vices, killing and kidnapping. Everybody has a role to play. For one thing, I'm an activist, disability rights activist, but I also work with teenagers, and that is exactly what I do. Going from place to place, schools to schools, and organizing seminars. We just finished one now, but then the seminars, most of them are focused on helping the youth stay drug-free. You understand? Helping them engage in meaningful activities. Because when a young man is not doing something meaningful, what do you expect? He will find something that will keep him busy. And most of the times, unfortunately, is drugs. So all of us, we keep talking. For those of you who are in the media, you keep sensitizing people. Activists, we keep talking. Role models on television should keep doing it. Not to eulogize it through acting. In the name of their acting, they are teaching young ones how to do it. They should learn how to present the negative side of it instead of making it look attractive. If all of us put our hands together, I think we'll be able to go far.
Yes, thank you for staying with us on this wonderful program. So far, you've heard from the streets, you've heard from the people, their opinions and their reactions. So you as an individual in this, also remember that there is always a time to turn things around for a fresh start. So stay cool, stay healthy. See you next time. Thank you.